There we go. Michelle opened Zeus's Place on Freret Street in early 2006 with the vision of providing animal care to the pets of New Orleans. At the time, Freret was still recovering from Hurricane Katrina, but she worked with two fellow property owners to create an art market that helped set in motion the renaissance of Feret's business corridor. Michelle and Greg Enselin have managed the Freret Street Festival since 2009, and the festival highlights the bustling business corridor that Lauren had discussed, and brings over 2,500 people to Freret Street on the first Saturday in April. Please welcome Michelle.
All right, I'm Cajun and I talk with my hands, so I'm gonna knock this stand over if I don't take it out my way real quick. First of all, thank you, Stay Local. Meredith, is Dana here yet? Happy late birthday, by the way, happy birthday. I'm Michelle Ingram. I was kind of puzzled why y'all actually asked me to talk about survival of the fittest, because I don't consider myself a business person at all, and I'm just Michelle and this is what I do, so I wasn't quite sure what to say to everybody here, so I'm just gonna kind of give you my story. So here I am, survival of the fittest. This is me, I'm Michelle Ingram. I own Zeus's Place, I run the Freret Market, I run the Freret Street Festival, and I've had a love of short skirts from a very, very young age. I've always been a lover of animals. It's something that my parents said I was born with, and as evidenced through pictures throughout my life, I always wanted to be with animals, so I had to find a way. How do I do this? How do I make this my life? Oh, and I was always a multitasker. As a business owner, you have to be able to do 8,757 things at once, and everyone is the most important thing you could ever do in your entire life. So, I was a good multitasker from a young age. So, what qualifications do I have to open a business? I was working as a network administrator in computers for an international company. I had a fantastic salary. I had benefits. I had good dental insurance. I had a 401k, I had a desk, I had an office, I had per diem, and I gave it all up to start this. So I have 2 college degrees. One's in art, one's in psychology. I never took a business class, and I never took a marketing class. That sounds like a great way to start a business, right? It was after Katrina. I just torn down my house. That's my house on September 8th, 2005. I had just walked through chest-deep water to get to it. Me and my husband are raising a 2-year-old little girl. That's her self-portrait. She's in the middle there. You can't tell. I said, why not? I want to do what I love. Why don't I buy out this flooded-out building on Freret Street, which at that time was a blighted corridor with empty storefronts, but I lived 4 blocks from it. So I was driving down the street and East Market was for sale, and I asked my husband, I called him on the phone, I'm like, hey, East Market just went, there's a reduced sign, can I buy it and rescue animals for the rest of my life? He said, sure, go for it, we just tore down our house. So I called a realtor, and the price was actually cut in half, and I did some math there to find out how much we needed for a down payment. This is the actual paper, and I kept it. And within 6 weeks, East Market became Zeus's Place. So, after opening Zeus's Place in March of 2006, I went to Google Earth, actually, I got this image. This is from August 2007, so I've been open for a year and a half. Look at Freret Street. I'm doing everything, and I'm doing it well, and I'm serving my clients, and I'm giving the best of everything that I have to them. And there's nobody on Freret Street. There I am, that's pre-painting. And I'm sure none of y'all have seen this many parking spots on Freret Street since about 2011, so what was I thinking? What the hell? What was I thinking? I'll just go with that. So seriously, I'm just a Cajun girl. I love to rescue animals. I love to drive 4-wheelers. I love to go crawfishing. I love to go in canals and pull chihuahuas out of culverts. This is what I know how to do. How do I take this and make this a living where I can support my daughter and help my community with all the homeless animals? So, how do I do this post-Katrina? I advertised. I got better at advertising, and I learned targeted advertising, where you actually want to go for the people that will actually use your business. So I found places like Urban Dog who will actually hit my target audience. Back in 2006, I had to tell my clients, no, Feret's safe. Really, you can come to Freret and not get stabbed or shot, I promise you. No, seriously, Freret is safe, but I kept having to tell them that. And it had to take me going out onto the street and getting their dogs from their car and bringing them inside, and finally it came around. And then finally I like to call it the most competitive prices in town, which is actually the cheapest. And that's how I figured I would get people into Freret Street. I would beat everybody else's prices out there, and I did, and they came, and they loved me, and they stayed. The three things I think you can take away from this: you need to listen and adapt and innovate constantly to stay current. What I thought I was going to do in 2006, 10 and a half years later, I'm not doing. I listened to my employees, I listened to my clients, I adapted my business plan and what I did on a daily basis. I became innovative in the way I marketed myself, and here I am. So, 2007, you remember those blighted pictures? I'm doing everything right. Why isn't this working for me? Why am I not expanding like I thought I would? Nobody's stopping on Freret. So me and my friend, Greg Insland and Peter Gardner were sitting around a table one day, like, we're all business owners, how do we bring people to Freret? Well, let's start an art market. I'm like, I have a degree in art, let's try it. So we found this vacant lot. Didn't that look like an art market to y'all? And we looked around, look at all that parking, you know, those people, who is gonna stop there? What was I thinking? Really, again, what am I thinking to opening up an art market? So in the early years, it's just two people who don't know how to sit still, trying to promote our local artists and let them make some money. Let's bring in some delicious food, because it's New Orleans, and who doesn't love good food? And I just love this art, so thought I'd put it in there too. And of course, pet adoptions and tie in Zeus's place. So now I have an art market, and I have people coming to Freret. I have actually people stopping on Freret and looking at those empty storefronts and going, you know what? I wanted to open a restaurant. I bet I can get that piece of property for a really good price. And sure enough, slowly, people started stopping on Freret. And it was the most brilliant thing. And Greg and I used to have a dream. One day when the Freret market shuts down, there's going to be a restaurant. That the family's going to come to the market, and then they're going to turn around and go eat at a restaurant. And sure enough, Hi Hat opened. It was the most brilliant thing. But once again, Freret got stale. How do you keep it current? We worked with our neighbors. Hey, what do you want to see sold at the market? What can we do for you? Because they're our biggest supporters. They're our neighbors. They allow us to happen. I talked to the artist. Hey, what are we not doing at the Freret market that's not helping your sales? How can we in turn increase your sales? We work with City Hall, and I don't have enough time to go through this one all the way, but we work with vendors. We work with sponsors. We found sponsors to keep our vendor prices low enough so we could pay for our permitting and continue the Freret market. Once again, we listened, we adapted, and we innovated the market to stay current. So of course there's a couple of setbacks because you're in New Orleans. I woke up one day and heard Hurricane Isaac took the front of my building off. Right? Okay, I have to keep putting pictures in because that's what I do. So I had to reevaluate at this point. What do I want to do? Like, I had at least 3 months without having a source of income, and I had 12 employees I had to pay. So I had to readjust what I was thinking. I had to reevaluate my business plan. I listened to my clients. I listened to my employees. I listened to my husband. I listened to my daughter too. I adapted what I was doing, and I decided to, I didn't want to lose any of my employees because they're so valuable to me. And once again, as a business owner, your employees, as you said, are your face. They're what's out there. Your weakest link is your weakest employee. I didn't want to lose even my weakest link. So I paid them out of my own personal money for months until Zeus's place was open again. I became innovative, and I redesigned the front office to be more consumer friendly. Come 2009, we had the opportunity to take over the Freret Street Festival, and it was great. So how do we take this little bitty Freret market we've been doing great for 3 or 4 years and move it to a bigger production, for lack of a better term, and bring even more people to Freret Street? So we listened to our vendors and our neighbors and our businesses again, and we adapted our little market to a really big festival. And we came up once again with new innovative ways with vendor layout, because I'm a very claustrophobic person and I hate going to a festival where I can't move. So we worked with vendor layouts, and I think our last count at our last market in April, it was actually 25,800 people, our demographer said, over a 6-hour people that came, 6-hour period, and people came and they went in businesses they hadn't normally stopped at. So here are a couple of pictures from the last festival. We have a new sponsor, Auction of Baptist, which is great because they're in our neighborhood. And this is all I wanted, actually. Back in 2006 when I opened and when we started the Freret market, I wanted people to stop on Freret. I wanted them to hear music and have fun. I think we actually accomplished that. This is during, I think, the Soul Rebels set. And this is Dat Dog, if you can believe it. This is Dat Dog back in 2007. This is what we're working with. This is that block now, if you can believe it. And this is that block during the Freret Street Festival. There are families that have stopped. There are families that set down roots in Freret. There are businesses that are there and thriving. And this is actually the Freret Street Festival last year, which encompasses all 8 blocks. So that's what I did. You listen to your clients, you listen to your family, you listen to your friends, you listen to your employees. You don't know it all. You'll never know it all. And these people have great ideas for you. Adapt to what they say, take the good, take the bad, take it all, and then be innovative. find every resource you have, use it and exploit it. You always have to change. And I think that's my last slide. Oh, one more thing. And thank you all for listening. Once again, thank you so much.
Cats are always a crowd pleaser, but Michelle also has an amazing story. I'd like to thank you guys all so much for coming out here, to connecting with these business owners, to hearing these great stories. I hope they leave you inspired and motivated with your business. We still have our B2B businesses here tabling, so if you haven't connected, make sure you stop by. And I'd like to thank you all again for coming and networking. And remember, when you use local service providers and you keep your dollars local, you keep your dollars local so your community can go farther. So thank you so much for coming tonight, and I hope you had a good time.